Ireland recognises that female entrepreneurs are the way forward. Currently, the ratio of men and women in entrepreneurship is 1.9 men to every female. In the recent GEM report of 2015, Ireland was identified as having a number of areas where they would be considered weak. This would be opportunity perception, risk, and gender. In the 2015 GEM report, it was highlighted that Ireland is weak in a number of areas compared to the UK, Denmark, and the United States. These were opportunity perception, risk acceptance, and gender. Irish policy is to use the local enterprise offices as the foundation for budding business people. At present, the majority of people who use these courses is 50% are women. However, at this time, none of them have started a business, but this is seen as a long-term investment, and they know and understand that going forward, that women will be more and more apparent in the business world. They are providing budding entrepreneurs with support groups and networks and have dedicated websites. They have also introduced Women in Business Networks, National Women's Enterprise Day, Young Entrepreneurs, and a STEP program for people starting off in business. It has also been identified the need for positive discrimination for women, for funds to be managed by women for women. They have put aside 25 million euros over the next 3 years, and these would be investments in the value of 100,000 to 600,000 in emerging companies. Ireland invests heavily in their female population. They see it as enterprising, and they can see and pave the way forward for their success. Ireland recognises the need for growth and have an action plan for jobs. This is where they intend to increase startups by 25%, increase the survival rate of these companies by 25% over a 5-year period, and increase their capacity to scale up the business by 25% too. Research and development is relatively low in Ireland, and they understand that this has to be developed further. There are tax credits available and flexibility for those companies who will be doing research and development within the Republic of Ireland. They are also setting up a centre of excellence and innovation hubs too. We have significant funds available for large enterprises with 800 million through the SCBI. These are for the small to medium enterprises, but we also have the micro enterprise loan funds for the smaller of 250,000. The medium-term growth of Ireland are favourable, but they are dependent on external factors too. The consensus is that we will have a growth rate of 3% over the next 5 years, but we still need that favourable external environment for the export and import industry. As you can see, Ireland promotes and invests in startups significantly, and I think we will all be the better for it going forward.
United Kingdom policy for gender enterprise. Within the United Kingdom, women use self-employment as a temporary solution and trade-off between other areas of their lives, balancing work and family. Trend shows that women's position in employment is as a secondary earners with additional responsibilities for domestic caring labor, require a trade between work flexibility and income. This shows results of last return performance and low growth ambition when women have to balance against flexibility and home-centered work. In addition, more women use self-employment as a temporary solution to combine childcare and income generation at a specific point in their life. They want to go back into employment when they feel it is appropriate. As well as society has highly influential position in providing paradigm how successful women can rise small business, even though women have no collective or individual entrepreneurial deficit. The problem lies in thinking such that women need fixing, with specific policies and advice so they could learn how to be more like a man. This perspective was influential in shaping policies in USA and Europe, suggesting initiatives to encourage more women to consider new business startups and to offer them special supports when, as a starting business, women should address her entrepreneurial shortcomings. In fact, research suggests that when the firm's characteristics, size, sector, age, findings are controlled for, that women-owned firms outperform those owned by their male counterparts. How governance affects entrepreneurial patterns in UK. 3 differences in entrepreneurship. First is startup, nature of business growth and run intentions. Traditionally, expectations of appropriate woman work are reflected in sectorial entrepreneurship entry choices, with most women challenging their business activity towards less knowledge-intensive service sectors. Second is business financing. In terms of start-up firms, it has long been demonstrated that the main sources of the financing are personal savings, followed by 3 Fs of findings like family, friends and fools, given the risk and uncertainties surrounding new enterprise. And for the most part, their small scale sourcing formal funding is more challenging. The third one is popular conception of entrepreneurial remodel. Remodel indicate how people may fit into an expected or understood character. As such, likes are made between the remodels and the individual. In the case of self-employment, business ownership and entrepreneurship, it is quite evident that the stereotypical character in this scenario is a man, and as such, this acts to discourage young women who do not reflect in this stereotype. They feel like they do not going to fit. How gender affects entrepreneurial patterns in UK. 3 differences in entrepreneurship. First is a startup and nature of business, growth and run intention. Traditional expectation of appropriate women's work are reflected in sectorial entrepreneurship entry choices, with most women challenging their business activity towards less knowledge-intensive service sectors. Second is business financing. In terms of startup firms, it has long been demonstrated that the main sources of funding are personal savings, followed by the 3 Fs of findings like family, friends and fools. Given the risk of uncertain surroundings of new ventures and most of the part their small scale, securing the formal financing is more challenging. The third one is popular conception of entrepreneurial model. Remodel indicate how people might fit into an expected or understood character. As such, like are made between the role model and the individual. In the case of self-employment, business ownership and entrepreneurship, it is quite evident that the stereotypical character in this scenario is a man, and as such, this acts to discourage young women who want to be reflected in this stereotype. They feel that they're not going to fit. Policies of growth in UK. One of the most important plans for the government in UK is to improve productivity. Fixing the foundation, comprehensive 15-point plan was introduced in July 2015, where helping business summary of action is that government as a customer, local competition, business right, smaller business finance, service and innovation, improving market access, responsible regulation, space for innovation.
The Chinese entrepreneurs have their own characteristics different from the characteristics characteristics of entrepreneurs elsewhere, because they are the creation of thousands of years of Chinese history and culture, as well as the recent history and turmoil and economic progress. Chinese female entrepreneurs tend to be aged 25 to 44, emphasize education and knowledge, balance work and family lives, are service business oriented, and are often entrepreneur by necessity. The Chinese entrepreneur movement represents only 20% of all the Chinese entrepreneurs. Recently, a series of entrepreneurial policies specific to motivating female entrepreneurial activity has been formulated and carried out by the Chinese government. Those policies include subsidies for professional training, small loans guarantees, and also preferential tax treatment, providing beneficial conditions, an incubator of sorts for women entrepreneurs. Women Successful Career Program, the Women Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program, and the Outstanding Women's Entrepreneur Program are all administered by the All China Women's Federation and the Association of Chinese Women Entrepreneurs. The greatest growth occurred right after the market-oriented economy was officially established, with many related policies issued by the government, especially the Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Promotion Law. The most dynamic trait of the Chinese woman entrepreneur is that of persistence, which makes women entrepreneurs pay more attention to long-term benefits and development for the startups. 45% of entrepreneurs report that persistence is their entrepreneurial advantage over their male counterparts, and only 1.7% of women entrepreneurs would not want to start a business if asked to choose again, which illustrates the high level of confidence and persistence. Women at the first chose to enter into industries which had low barriers to entry, such as textile industry, restaurants, or other services requiring unsophisticated skills or small amount of capital. They also tended to use their own savings or loans from relatives. No matter whether pull or push factors were at work, Chinese women's personal characteristics, tolerance, persistence, hard working, and finally prudence were essential to their business success. A good example of a successful Chinese entrepreneur